Hello, I'm Charles Moffat, and today I'm going to do a book review of these books here for the Witcher series. So, I've read these books here, these four, and I've decided I'm going to take a break. I'm not actually going to read these two books right away. These are books 5 and 6 of the series. I want to do a review for the first four books as far as that goes. And then when I'm done this, I'm going to start reading these books instead. So I just need to get this out of the way. So, I have posted a review on this on my Wattpad page, which you can certainly check out. But basically, what it comes down to is that I really enjoyed these books. I'd say that they deserve at least 4.5 stars. There are some issues that I don't like about them, but there's a lot of things that I do like about them. Okay, so we're going to start with these ones over here, which are the anthologies. The anthologies are basically short stories, and you can kind of read them independently, or you can kind of look at them and okay, they just kind of follow like a chronological order, and that they happen early in the overall timeline of the Witcher series. And the early stories have a tendency to focus on, shall we say, retellings of certain fairy tales. So like one of them is like a little bit like Beauty and the Beast, another one's a little bit more like Snow White and the Seven Dwarves, things like that. So it's taking the story and then it's changing it somewhat. So for example, there's one story in here in which the Witcher encounters this woman, and she's been chased out of her home by her evil stepmother, and she ends up hanging out with some dwarves and learning some sword skills, and then she kind of ends up going looking for revenge against the one wizard who was persecuting her and caused her to lose her kingdom in the first place. So there's, it's very much retellings of stories, but done in a very interesting way. Okay, so and it often disrupts what you think of as the normal story, and changes it dramatically. So there's lots to enjoy when you read it as well. It's because there's often commentary on the types of things that humans do within the human condition, if you want to use those words. And a lot of these stories indeed follow that same theme of the shall we say, assholery of humans, the kind of horrible, awful things that humans do and often get away with. So, The Witcher is, of course, a monster hunter of sorts. He's mutated. He's gone through a number of, not magical experiments, but magical mutations that turn him into what he is. So he's got superhuman speed and, well, we say superhuman. We don't mean like superhero. It's just he's stronger than normal, and he's faster than normal, and he's got better hearing, better eyesight, things like that. So he certainly has some advantages physically over other opponents. But at the same time, he gets beat up a lot. So there's that as well. Now, he's not the only character, however. There's also Ciri, who's a character who starts appearing right around this time and then continues onwards. By the end of this book, Ciri's off on her own, doing her own thing. Not that that's a spoiler. I'm not really telling you much there, in terms of what she's doing, but there's other stuff going on politically. So, yeah, there's a lot of politics happening in this. And then the funny thing is that in the early books, The Witcher is all like, I don't want to get involved in politics, blah, blah, blah. And yet he still does. And that's just the way it is. Now, the things that I really don't like about these books is that there's never any maps. You never find a map at all. Now, if you could play the Witcher games, there's maps in that, and you can go online and you can find maps of the world. But it's kind of disappointing that none of the books have maps. Another thing that I don't really like is that it's how to describe it. There's kind of a guarantee that he's going to do certain things. Like he's automatically going to win. He's automatically going to lose a few times. Because obviously the bad guys have to win certain things, but he himself never dies. Obviously, or gets even grievously injured. He'll get injured, but not a lot. So he's kind of like a Bruce Willis, Die Hard type character in that respect. Now, I've yet to read these ones, but the plan is that I will do so in the near future. I'm planning basically to continue watching the Witcher TV show for now, and I'm going to catch up on reading some other books. And then I don't have to worry about reading these ones right away. I'm going to do reviews for them separately later. But for now, I want to kind of just let the TV show take its course, and then maybe I'll do another video in the future about like what the TV show did versus, how it was different from the books. There are definitely differences already, having read these ones. There's things that are happening in these books that are slightly different. And then you also get a lot more insight in terms of what's happening behind the scenes and his backstory within the books. Whereas you don't really get a lot of that in the actual TV show. Now, these books over here by Dylan Deuce and Charles Saunders, I've been wanting to read these for a while. I started reading this one already. I've read like 2 or 3 chapters already, and I'm enjoying it. So that's progressing. I'm going to do a full review of that one later. And then the same thing with these. When I finish reading these, I will do a review of these 2 books as well. Now, Charles Saunders unfortunately died earlier this year, because it's, 2020, and really nice people seem to die lately. So, whatever. Yeah, this has been a horrible year. But yeah, so I'm already reading this one. I'm enjoying it very much. I definitely recommend checking it out. I'm not going to tell what's actually happened in the first few chapters, but I'm definitely enjoying it so far. And then these ones I haven't read at all yet, but I'm going to read those as soon as I finish reading that one. So that's the plan. Anyway, have a good day and enjoy your reading. Bye-bye.